At the North Face, it's never just a hike. Not if you're stuck on the same old trail. It's your chance to unearth a new kind of trail. Wide open and yours to define. An opportunity to become part of something bigger and wilder. What will you find out there? The North Face. Never stop exploring.
At first, I didn't think it was real. I woke up to this blinding light, and I was transported to another place. Pluto TV! Then I heard a voice.
Come with me if you want to live.
There were thousands of movies and shows, and they were all free.
The truth is ours.
It's just so beautiful.
On Pluto TV, free streaming of Terminator 2, Fringe, Arrow, The 100, and The X-Files may cause excitement, loss of sleep, and sudden belief in extraterrestrials. No credit cards or alien encounters necessary. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another Shades of Blue, brought to you by Core Outdoor. I am David Greenwald, your host for tonight, since Cody didn't care about us enough to show up on a victory podcast. I'm here with Carrie Robinson, Thad Bell, and Robert Russert. Chat, how we doing?
Doing great after last night.
You know, David, this is not just a victory podcast. This is a double victory podcast. So, Cody, what the heck?
There's a triple victory.
Well, we're talking specifically about sporting.
But the current also, and we'll get to them. But this is a good week for soccer in Kansas City.
Very good.
And most of the teams.
And all of it without Cody. I wonder if there's a theme here.
But he scored the media game, David, which he would point out. So thank you. You're welcome, Cody Bradley.
On a team that had no goalie.
Some would say he was offside.
No, that was in a previous game. I don't think he actually was this time.
No,
but not enough people watched the media game to know that that's not true. And so I think that's just the narrative moving forward.
Carrie Robinson, could any one of us have scored the goal that Cody Bradley did? Yes or no?
I'll be honest. I was too busy on my side watching, trying to get everyone else
Gotcha.
for Instagram. And actually, Robert, I got a really good one of some of your cuts, and I think I even captioned it like a goat. Like I just want to get out fast. I needed to put something in it, so I just put the goat emoji. So
I saw this video on Instagram of Robert with his thighs out, just, toned, pale, super pale. But, I can see how you're launching rockets off those legs, man.
It was a lot of fun. It was fun tagging everyone that was in relation to Casey Soccer Journal. Because my first one said about POV, about to watch your coworkers embarrass themselves. And I tagged everyone.
That was good.
Jimmy Mack had to buy shorts before the game because, he didn't even realize the game was, Wednesday night.
Would be pretty cool to watch him play in jeans. It'd been more fun to watch him play in jeans.
He did last year.
Which he did last year.
Oh, woof. All right. Well, let's get into it, okay? So 2 wins this week for Sporting KC. Robert, how are you feeling about the team this week?
I kept thinking of Thad in my thoughts as I reflected, the rock bottom thing, right? We hit rock bottom when there's that 6-0, and now we're just climbing our way out of it. And, it feels very good. How long it's going to last, none of us know. But, there's some promise, and all hail Zoran Basong. There we go.
Carrie, you are the resident Gen Z. You're our social media person. We saw a video of Roger Espinoza pumping everybody up before the midweek. Do you feel like that is what contributed, or did Wiki have some sort of, masterclass in coaching this week?
I would think that it's probably Roger. But even Wiki kind of contributed to it yesterday in the post conference. He was like, I'm proud of these guys because, they were down deep bad last Saturday, and to get 2 wins out of that, if you watched Rogers' video, it was him saying they were in the exact same position in 2011, and they were able to make something out of it, and that did eventually put them onto that magical 2012 to 2017 run.
Thad, what did you see that Wiki did differently this week, if anything?
Well, a few things, but I want to go back for a second to the Rogers speech. It was good, but it was like, hey, we sucked 15 years ago, but we got better. There was not a lot to it from the part that we saw. I mean, we sucked. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know how we were going to get out of it, but we got better. And you got to remember that was when they were on the road for like 10 games. They'd come home. They had a whole bunch of home games. That's how they got better. That's part of it. Now, back to what Wiki did. Wiki got Basong back, put him into the midfield, who was able to be a little bit more of the destroyer than anybody else has been in there for them. That's one thing. Two, got both wingers out there actually working well. So Capita and Calvin, they both kind of lived up to what they were supposed to do.
Calvin's on fire. This is the week that he's really. I mean, sure, we said, yeah, he was a free agent. He was probably like one of the better free agents that that was on the list this offseason. Hadn't seen much from him. Man, has he in the last 4 days, 5 days, he's lived up to what you would expect him to do, like what he was doing last year or 2 years ago in Colorado.
So, very briefly, to put a bow on the Espinosa thing, was anybody else surprised that there was not more cursing and more bad language?
We didn't. Did we see the entire thing?
I don't
We
think
did not see the entire thing. No. But I walked down the stairs after the match with Roger, just having a discussion the whole time. And, Roger said nothing about his speech and didn't take any credit for it. Like, it's just so like Roger. But, the favorite part to me of that speech was, and I don't remember the exact words, and you guys can help me out, but glory waits on the field, or what were the exact words he said, encouraging that, hey, that's where you go out and change it. You've got to go out on the field and change it. So I don't remember the exact words, but that was my favorite part.
Yeah. And then, Carrie, do you really think that there's something to a speech? Or or was it really Zoe coming back?
I don't know. I think it was Zoe. Also, was LA Galaxy. If there was going to be 2 games that you could win in these first 14 games, whatever, it was gonna be the Galaxy games. Whether or not we had a shot on target or even a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, Carrie, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's who we have our first victory against, right? And the Galaxy, as we know, are not exactly known for playing very good defense. And they gave us so much space and so much time. You look at the standings, though, and I did this tonight as I was watching the Austin game. The Galaxy are 14th in the Supporter Shield standings, allowed 21 goals in 14 games, which isn't great, but they're in 14th. Austin, 24th. They've allowed 28 goals, a -9 goal differential. So, back-to-back games against two teams aren't exactly lighting the world on fire and aren't known for their best defense. So that helped for sure.
True,
Do you
but
think
Sporting has played badly against some other bad teams too. So any team they can beat right now is a positive.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Do you guys think Greg Vanny wakes up in like cold sweats like the night before Sporting Kansas City plays them? Are we just like their like bogeyman team?
David, I think it's much more to do with Dejan Joveljic. That's who he's having nightmares about. Because damn, I had to let him go. They had a nice discussion on the field after the match, and you could tell, that there's a connection there between the two, and I'm sure he wishes he still had him. But Dejan in the locker room, Thad, he didn't want to smile too big about scoring against the Galaxy, but yeah, it was definitely there. Like, yes, I love scoring against them, and I will keep doing it.
Yeah. Previously, when he scored, he didn't celebrate. He just kind of subdued. This time, he celebrated a bit. Like he jumped over the wall and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So good for
That
him.
look on his face that was just kind of like, yes, I just did that.
Well,
Well,
he was at
if
home also for this
Yeah.
Yeah.
this goal.
if we ever move on from Dayon, he has to go outside the league because I don't think I could take watching him dunk on us also once or twice a year. Carrie, you mentioned this was Calvin's week. There are reports. I wasn't at the game on Wednesday, but there are reports that the Cauldron did not sing a Calvin Harris song when he scored. Is that true? And on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most disappointed, how disappointed are you by that?
I'll be honest, I was not in the Cauldron for the Wednesday game. It's my dad's birthday. He had tickets over, on the sporting side where it says sporting, so went and sat with him. I think that we weren't prepared, really. Probably not, but, we did get that sway. It was kinda questionable whether or not we'd get it, after that win. Some
Yeah.
people didn't wanna have the sway anymore, but Jake Davis and Basong both got everyone on that line, and we had a blast. I did run
Nice,
over to the
nice.
Cauldron for that one.
Do
Cool.
you think the Cauldron has a song for Calvin Harris?
I think it's just probably pulling out a Calvin Harris song, like the DJ, you know?
I mean, Manu Garcia's got a song. I don't know why Calvin wouldn't.
Maybe if Calvin Harris gives us a song that he records, like Manu Garcia.
He has to come up with his own.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
You need to explain that Manu and giving a song comment.
Oh, well, so didn't last year, didn't Carrie get Manu to sing his own song?
Yeah, I got, I think Marika Davis and Stadium Host and I were talking, and I don't think we had a Manu Garcia song yet, at least that we had sang. And so she said, "Oh my god, he just told me about like his own chant that he made because he's never had a chant before." And she had the voice recording from him, and she sent it to me.
Maybe we'll hear it later. Maybe. Thad, you mentioned Zoe coming back, you think was one of the big differences for Wiki this week. What is it that you saw out of Zoe in the midfield?
He was the physical presence that Sporting doesn't have in there most of the time, unless Jake Davis is in there, and he's has to keep playing right back since we can't keep our right back healthy. Um, or only don't have very many of them. Anyway, Joe was the physical presence. He was all over the place. He could make a few passes. He wasn't like the creator, but he was just physical enough and getting into everybody's way. So that's what they needed.
Robert, what did you see out of Zoe?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The physical presence is there, and I have to give a nod to LBJ. He has increased his physical presence. He had made a couple of nice tackles against Austin, but I think what the song also is adding is that the Spanish call it la pausa. He can pause the game in the right moments and create that rhythm. Whereas with Bartlett, he's young, he's always running hard. He's kind of like not out of control, but not as composed as Zohan is. He looks and sees the game. He plays the ball where it needs to be played. And I think that really helps, especially also that Wiki has made up more of a box midfield with that 4-4-2 we've been playing. Leads a little more organization. Yeah, I think those are a number of factors that have led to success.
So, Robert, I'm glad you mentioned the 4-4-2 because I want to talk about that. But before we get there, I'm just noticing, as I'm staring at your, ruggedly handsome face as you're talking to us, where did all your scarves go?
Well, see, my branch is going hard on the Soccer Capital of America thing they've been working with Sporting. So I thought I would accentuate the decorations and brought a bunch of my international scarves and put them up in the
Okay.
branch and stuff. So yeah,
Because, importantly, you're missing the Brazil scarf.
hey, it's up on the wall in the branch, man. There you go.
So, we've often talked about how formation kind of matters, kind of doesn't. That your shape in the formation is more important than just saying like, oh well, it's a 4-3-3 or it's a 4-4-2 because there's a million different ways to play within that. But Thad, what do you think about the fact that these two games we switched at least on paper to a 4-4-2 and we came away with 2 wins?
Well, I think that did play a part of it, but again, it's more of the roles people play than the numbers applied to it. And when I was talking earlier about Basong being a physical presence, I think the whole team stepped up being a more physical presence, and I think that they after the game against LA, they talked about how they wanted to get in their face and they wanted to let them know that we're here to battle and all that sort of thing, and they did, and they carried that through to Austin. So they're finding maybe the identity that they can get results with. At some point they want to be a pretty soccer team and all this stuff, but sometimes you have to start with getting physical and run hard and don't give up and all those, good buzzwords from action movies when they do the training montage and stuff like that, and you get results. And again, I'm not expecting them to like win every game with this squad that they have now, but if you can get results by doing that, more important than the formation. But I think that having Zoe next to LBJ and then the two speedy wingers out to the side helped. And then with Calhera coming in instead of Manu, because Manu hasn't, we'll talk about Manu in a minute, I'm sure, but Manu has not been the physical presence that they always need. And Calhera was a little bit more of that.
Carrie, what'd you see?
Yeah, I was gonna say Taylor Calhera was, I think, a big reason for, he is fresh, new, young, fast. Granted, everyone on the team is kind of young. Um, but he almost gave like a Kyrie Shelton like in 2019, Kyrie Shelton um appearance where he was able to maybe didn't do too much on the ball. He won some duels, whatever. Um, but he was able to draw defenders to him, take some time or take some space off of Kapita and uh, Jovic.
Yeah, I noticed that. I felt like as I was watching the match, I saw Calhera doing stuff and none of it like really seemed to come off, but I felt like he was impacting the game. And then you go back and, the box score doesn't necessarily show kind of all that dirty work he was doing, but I thought he played his role really well. Robert, what did you see from Taylor and what did you think about, the rest of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think guys, you're just the idea of his movement, as Carrie mentioned, drawing defenders, and that has been a change in dimension for sure. And then you've got, Harris played a little more centrally. You've got because you got Capita playing out wide. You've got Reynolds or Davis or whoever it is, and Jaden Reed playing out wider. So it's been more numbers. I think Thad mentioned that earlier too. The numbers that they had put into the attack and into those spaces, but the movement between the lines, you see Dayon coming back for the ball a lot. You see Zoran dropping back to the midline to distribute. You see LBJ doing the same thing. And you see Calhera coming back for the ball. There's just a lot more movement and dynamism in that area. And it was kind of interesting after we subbed out Basong and we subbed on Manu. And I think who else was in that midfield? I don't remember who it was, but
Afrifa came on.
yeah, 77th minute, they just went straight through our defense and had a strong chance. Austin did. I was like, oh, if they had scored that, who knows what would have happened? But it was like, okay, there's no presence in that defensive presence in that midfield right now because don't have a song and LBJ together. So that was a bit scary. But then, of course, we scored that goal the 82nd minute, 79th minute by Manu, and more movement. If you look at the play closely, the ball goes into Shoppy, and Harris makes a diagonal run, which draws two defenders to him, gives Shoppy more space to lay the ball to Manu. And then, of course, Manu finishes it nicely. But it's just those little things that can make such a difference.
Yeah, I think playing in the 4-4-2 with Capita and Harris more withdrawn is helpful because we've got more numbers back behind the ball. We're a little bit more organized, but they were both so fast that they can still get good runs in. You can play it through to them and they can still, outrun a whole lot of guys. Um, one of the things I think is interesting to go back to a point Thad made a minute ago, which is that, the team's playing like a little grittier, right? Maybe not as pretty as we would prefer. I see some parallels kind of playing off of Rogers' speech to the team about early Peter Vermees. And when we won MLS Cup, we were not playing pretty soccer. Um, that was a press hard, almost like Red Bull light style
Yep.
team and was not the like Barcelona-esque team that we evolved into. We saw a lot of success playing that early Vermeer style. And of course the leagues evolved, but I thought it was an interesting parallel to like where we are developmentally. And how these guys, at least this week, got real gritty and were willing to put in that hard work before, instead of just playing tiki taka all the way down the field. Thad?
Yeah. I agree with what you're saying about how played like Sporting did in that time frame, but it's also how a lot of expansion teams will try to play, right? Because that's the cheapest, easiest way to play is run guys really hard. That was the St. Louis thing for the first couple of years before, they ran out of legs and fired the guy who then went on to be really good and then really bad again. Um, so I mean, it's he has a cycle, right? So that's good. I mean, he can be good every couple of years and bad every couple of years. That's fine. Yeah, some coaches have made great careers out of doing that. Uh, but I just think that's the cycle that a lot of teams, when they're rebuilding or they're new, they have to just play really hard. It's all effort, and I think that's one of the weaknesses towards the end of the Vermees era is he didn't have all the talent that he wanted, so he was trying to get them to play hard enough that they could overcome that, and it was a lot of older guys who couldn't do that.
If nothing else, it sets a positive culture for the club
Right.
to be the team that plays hard, even if you're not playing well. I've been putting this off for a while, but we do need to talk about Manu. Uh, Before we get into Manu specifically in these two games, I do want to clarify something. Carrie hit me up in the Slack channel to let me know that some people came up to her and told me they did not like my takes on Manu. To be really clear, and it's a weird thing because this I feel like always happens to Cody when he hosts that,
Hold
like,
on. I should say that David came at me in the Slack.
I did not.
Don't shoot this at Messenger. He got
But
defensive.
I feel like this always happens to Cody when he's hosting, that like somebody hears or says something and it kind of gets taken out of context and he's off defending himself. So maybe it's just the role of host. But I don't think Manu Garcia is a bad player, to be clear. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's a DP level player. So that my opinion is very clear on this. That said, both midweek and last night, my phone blew up as everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Manu, he really sucks, huh?" So Carrie, I'm happy to eat my crow, medium rare, please. But why don't you tell us what you saw from Manu in these two games?
Are you really buying a car online on AutoTrader right now?
Really, I can get super specific with dealer listings and see cars based on my budget.
You can really have it delivered.
Or pick it up.
Mommy,
I
look!
think your kid is walking up the slide.
Really?
AutoTrader. Buy your car online. Really.
Hey, I just Venmoed you for rent.
Nice. Now I can instantly spend it whether I'm checking out online with Venmo or using a Venmo debit card.
Say more.
More exactly. Because the more you do with Venmo, the more you get. Like earning up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash on a bundle of brands.
So, order more pizza.
The math demands it.
Get the Venmo debit card.
Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms. Venmo checkout not available at all merchants. Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
For the moments that matter, choose Curad Naturals. Infused with aloe vera and vitamin E, Curad Naturals bandages protect your unexpected scrapes, cuts, and burns while also moisturizing your skin. Find deeper relief with natural ingredients you can trust to start the healing. When life's surprises call for the best, choose Curad, a deeper level of care. Shop the full collection on Amazon or visit Curad.com to learn more.
I mean, I think that we could even go back to last week or the week before, whenever Robert kind of was talking about how you can even see like the losing mentality has gone onto Manu, where he's just something. He looks like everyone else on the team. There's like no fight or whatever. And I think that maybe him coming off the bench kind of helped that. Granted, I mean, Sporting was losing when he came on in this game and not the last game, and I think that maybe some of that helped him in his confidence. Hopefully, and that's where I'm torn. I just don't know if at this point in time we should keep Manu starting games. If he's having this much of an impact off the bench, let's keep it rolling, and especially with Basong, if Basong can stay healthy.
So Thad does agree with me that Manu's good, but not maybe a DP. But Thad will also both sides this, depending on how everything shakes out. But Robert, you are a bigger, maybe I don't want to say bigger fan of Manu's, but you're you rate him higher than maybe I do. What are your thoughts? Should Manu be coming off the bench? Should he get his starting spot back? What are your thoughts?
Well, let's hit the macro thought. I agree. He's not a DP level player. You and I have had this discussion in the press box before. He's a good player, and there are just certain things that other guys on this team cannot do. I mean, look at that turn that he made before he, dribbled through the defense and played the ball through that ended up in a free fizz goal eventually. There's nobody in this team who can do that. And there are very few people, maybe Lassa and him, that can play a threaded ball into a player. So that's where I'm at with Manu. But you stick with what's working, right? You don't all of a sudden change this dynamic that's got you 2 wins in a row. And if that's going to make Manu, be a better player, heck, you keep doing that because
David, you said that I tend to do both sides of things, and I do. I admit that. I will say that I don't think Manu is a DP player on the team as it is now. Okay, I totally agree and all that. But what I will say is perhaps if the team was stronger and had better possession, and he's getting the ball up out right around the 18 or 10 yards outside the 18 a lot, he doesn't have to be the more physical presence and do a lot of the running. I'm not saying he doesn't have to defend because everybody has to, but if the team was stronger, had more of a possession style, I think he becomes a much, much better player because he's trying to make those passes from outside the box or near the box, and he's much craftier and can do those things than anybody else on the team. It's that when he has to be doing that in the defensive half or in the circle, and he does still do some really good plays, it's just a lot less chance for him to be successful. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, and we've talked about that like with Busio, right? Busio was much better with the first team than he was with SKC too. His play elevated when he was around better
Right.
players, so that's not uncommon or unheard of. I think where I lose my rating with Manu is I don't see that creative passing coming off, right? So where like Benny was very effective at playing the ball on the ground, playing the ball in the air, being able to put a ball on somebody as they were making runs. I see Manu when he tries to chip over the top, always overcooks the pass. Um, he's good for some good passes. Like he had, I think, was it his ball to Calvin was really nice.
Yeah.
But I don't see him consistently hitting that ball enough for me to rate him, let's say, as a DP. If we had better players, would he be better? Maybe. I just don't know if he really has the touch on those creative flare passes that I would be looking for out of a DP. And this league is built in a way that you need your DPs to hit, and you need your creative midfielders to be creative and create goals. And the most dominant teams over the last decade have had truly dominant midfielders. I just don't know that he's on that level with, the Miguel Almiron, obviously not Lionel Messi level, but like, is he the guy to win us an MLS Cup?
So I agree. The consistency is an issue, and I feel the exact same way about LBJ. He can play a really nice pass. He can do some really good things on the ball, but then other times it's like, what are you doing, man? Or the pass is overcooked or whatever. But I agree with Fad in that if we get Manu in the spots that he needs to be in more consistently, I think we'll find a more consistent Manu. And if he's going to start adding scoring to that, well, yeah, okay, that's another level. But that was maybe a one-off Saturday night. We'll see though.
Yeah, it was a pretty low XG shot. In fact, I think both of the goals were very low XG shots. If I looked earlier, and Carrie can back me up, I think she looked at that too.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it was. Sorry, go ahead, Carrie.
No, I was gonna mention that a free foot shot. I didn't even think that went in. I thought it hit the crossbar, and it wasn't until I saw everyone else celebrating. Like I was at a bar, and everyone else was like celebrating, and I was like, I don't know. And then I had to wait until the players actually celebrated.
There was a moment of doubt. I agree.
I was worried that it was going to bounce out, that it was going to hit the crossbar and angle
Right.
and come out and not go in.
But it
But
would have been like
look,
one of those like on the line, and they're like technically it didn't cross all the way.
All right. So okay, I got to ask this question because people use this term too easily. Was that a golazo or no? I say no. It looked more like, okay, I'm going to try this. Okay, it worked. Not like, full intent.
I think
Well,
I err more on the side of yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
it was a game-winning goal for a team that sucks. This was about as golazo as we've gotten this year.
yeah,
Let
I
us
mean,
have
yeah,
this.
yeah. I think
when he drops out of the
context-
top 5 goals this season, then we can say it's not a golazo. We'll have something better.
yeah,
I
that's
think
like
it's
goal of the year.
obviously
for
he
us right
meant
now.
to do it, right? It's just,
Yeah.
it's not confidently done. It's like, okay, hey, that worked out.
They said he's been working on a shot recently in
Okay,
practice.
good.
So they are claiming that.
Yeah,
Goal
so
of the year
Wiki
so
Wiki
far.
told him to work on his shot. So I do want to actually read 2 quotes. Going back to Manu for a second, because we asked about Manu in the postgame. And he goes, "I'm very happy that he actually scored because Manu is a player who can produce, and I feel like his production in the beginning of the season so far hasn't been the best," which is about as critical as Wiki has been of any player this year.
Yeah.
So I think that was basically saying, yeah, Manu's kind of sucked this year. He hasn't been what I expected him to be, but now coming off the bench, he's starting to produce. So I think that's what Wiki was saying there in the nice Scandinavian whatever coach he is.
He's not Scandinavian. Do
What
you
is
know
he?
where he's Swiss, which
It's
is
in
in
that
the
area.
No,
no.
not at
No, it is
all.
not.
Switzerland is
Let's see.
central
I know
Europe.
it's
It
down
touches France, Germany, and Italy, Scandinavia,
I know, I do know.
Sweden, Finland, Norway, and arguably Denmark.
They're still nice usually.
The Swiss aren't Vikings.
I know.
Therefore, not Scandinavian.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
The food's better in Switzerland too. They've got like
The
raclette
cheese.
and right. And then the Scandinavians are eating like a lot of
They
like
named the cheese after the place.
pickled fish and
Surström.
oh god. Have you ever guys? Do you know what that is? It's
Yeah.
like a fermented shark, and apparently the smell is so strong that it like induces vomiting almost automatically.
And you have to open it underwater.
It's gnarly. We'll have to send some videos to you guys. I live for these on Instagram. These are great.
I live for them on TikTok.
I will come back with go eat some balut from the Philippines.
Mm.
Fermented fertilized chicken egg.
Oh God. Okay. Well,
Gummy chicken bones. Like, yeah,
okay.
it's delicious, man.
All right. Well,
All right.
okay.
Now back to the game.
Back to Manu. Whatever they're doing right now is working. And to Wiki's point, right? Manu looks like a guy who should produce. I think we all agree with that, right? When we all agreed he's a good player. He looks like he should be that true DP10. It's 85, 90% of the way there. It's that last 10% that I feel like I'm missing when I'm watching him.
Yeah.
And if Wiki can unlock it, then this team actually might be able to do something.
And again, all of this is until the transfer window opening next month anyways, and they can bring in more players.
So what? There's like one game left.
Right.
Yeah. Well, transfer window doesn't open for a while, but yes, one more game to the break. But a couple other things, guys. I just want to mention Capita. I think I mentioned this somewhat before. He's finally getting comfortable.
Yeah.
And he's showing the player that he was when we got him, what we thought we were getting, which is nice. Let's just hope he can stay, healthy. But the other comment is a couple pods ago, maybe one pod ago, we were all like, okay, somebody besides Dayon needs to score, right? We've had 5 different goal scorers for the last 5 goals. So nice.
It is because you need to be able to have your wingers get some goals, your midfielders get some goals. So,
yeah, no, it's been fun. This was actually the most fun I've had watching sporting in quite some time.
Oh yeah,
since maybe that St. Louis playoff game. This is the most fun we've had since that St. Louis playoff game.
And in the last 2 games, we've only gave up half the amount we did last Saturday. In goals.
It's improvement.
There's a lot of improvement in these last 2 games. And again, I was the one trying to always say be optimistic and all that stuff because I saw that this team could be better than they were playing. It was getting rough to have any optimism though after a 6-0 loss and a 5-0 loss, sandwiching a 1-1 draw. So,
do you guys see the stickers on this chair?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
I didn't know this was the second you hopped
put them
on.
there.
I did put them there. That's right. These tiny little heart stickers were my hands and not my daughter's. Okay, Carrie, can you play the Manu song one more time?
I think he should sing it.
I need you to play it so
I'm
I
not
can
sure we
remember
have
how
the copyright law.
There
right
are so many words, David. Yes.
And as a disclaimer, as a spoiler for anybody who's listening, I'm a terrible singer. If you want to skip forward about 30 seconds, you do not have to hear me sing.
I would also like to apologize to Manu Gracia for just airing this. I did give him like a year, so.
Was it?
La, la, la. Manu Garcia. La 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 la. Manu Garcia. Okay. Okay.
I like it.
So creative.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
he gets his flowers tonight.
We did. I think he was sang to that. What you get what I'm saying? Last year, and he appreciated it. And then my friends also had one for Man in the Mirror for him. I'm starting with Manu in the midfield, and he heard that one and he was excited. And then went back to Ricky Davis and said, "Have you heard of Michael Jackson?"
Manu's a very nice guy too.
Yeah, he is.
He's a very, very good dude. So it's nice to see him do well. And
Yep.
I'm more than happy to be wrong anytime that he wants to prove himself right and prove me wrong. I'm always happy to eat that crow.
I really wish him well because he is such a nice guy, like you said.
Is there anything else we should talk about the week that was sporting?
You know, this was the first time since 2024 that Sporting has won back-to-back games. The broadcast actually got it wrong. They said 2023, and then Mike Kuhn went back in his notes, saw that it wasn't, and then Nate Bukaty apologized on Twitter.
Nate got Mike statted.
Yeah. Too bad it wasn't live on the game, though.
That would have been fun. Get a Mike Kuhn shout out on Apple. That would have been legendary.
Well, Mike is kind of legendary at this point. He's the amount of info that he tracks and keeps. And a member of my family actually asked about a player that used to be around, and I'm like, you just need to go to our site and find Mike's post and go down and see if he still is playing anywhere, right? And I said, it's easy. So it's probably easier than trying to Google it and seeing if a Wikipedia page is still updated.
Was it Sunil Chetri, the Indian Messi?
No, but I did pull that one out recently too. I did make a misstatement though when I was saying something like he was probably the guy on the field when the Wizards played Manchester United that had scored the most goals. I said probably more than everybody else that was on the field at the time. And I was technically I said all together, so I was technically wrong. He did score more than everybody else on the field, but not all together.
Robert, what else are we missing from the week?
I think that's about it, man. Is that Kansas City Current Club is looking pretty good right now too.
Hold on.
I believe that
Yeah,
will
we're
be
going to talk
set
about them after the
too,
break.
correct?
Hold on. There is one more thing from the sporting game.
Oh, okay.
You need to also acknowledge how good the Russian Dagestani gremlin is been this year.
The gremlin of Dagestan. We should get shirts made for him, along with the Catalan Cafe and the Wiki Way. No, Shoppy, again, coming off the bench, playing okay, playing hard.
Yeah.
He had that shot that actually looked like it might go in, and it didn't, but it was a great save by Stuver. That's not Shappy's fault necessarily. Although Cody Bradley and Robert and maybe Dayon would have placed it elsewhere, but that was a good shot. And then he had the assist that set up Manu's goal, didn't he?
Yeah,
He did.
he was also
Well-
the second highest rated player on FitMob.
On sporting.
Bully for Shappy.
The
David,
losing team had the highest rated player. What's fair though, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
so have you guys ever seen those like Dagestani wrestling gyms? And like again, this is like a thing that Carrie would see on TikTok. I don't know if Robert or Thad you've seen these, but do you know what I'm talking about? Does anybody? No. Okay, so there's these videos. I'll send them in the chat. There's these videos where they show these like Dagestani guys. They all have the same haircut and beard as Shappy too.
Yeah.
And like their coach will like look them up and down, and if they don't, have a good enough six pack or like their hair's not cut the right way or whatever, he takes like a stick and like swats them across like the upper thighs. Like or like
What do you think
across
my
the hamstrings.
algorithm would be?
I don't know. I assume
you
like
think
you're
this
just
would come across
consuming
my
a ton of
page-
Shappy content. That's what I'm assuming. Is it's all
I-
Shappy content.
I will now. My phone's listening.
I'll send it to you. But if Shappy can win the Golden Boot for the club this year, I will let him get one of those sticks and beat me senseless with it. If he needs an incentive,
I will
that's
pass
such
that
a
on to him.
risky comment, David. Yes.
I again, happy to eat the crow. If that dude wants to rip off 15 goals, I'll take it.
He gets wind of this, he might just become the most selfish player in the field and never pass. He'll just shoot every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him know because I've after the games now I start going over and saying hi to him and just trying to get a little conversation out of him. And I asked him for an interview after a couple games ago, and he's like, "Oh no, I no English." I said, "Dude, I've spoken to you before. I know you speak English." I said, "You don't have to. It's not going to be the audio. If I write anything from it, I'll correct it. Don't worry. I'm not going to make you look bad." And then I talked to him for a little bit, and he's actually again in person talking to him. He's a really nice guy and very like shy. He doesn't want to speak because he's afraid his English isn't good enough and stuff. But if you notice, a lot of times when he leaves the locker room after the game, he's wearing some shirt that's from some MMA fighter
Yeah.
because he's big into that.
Yeah, no, he's scary.
How do you
Yeah,
think?
for sure.
How do we convince Shopee to bring Hasbulla to a Sporting KC game? Because they're friends.
Are they really?
He's on his on Shopee's Instagram multiple times.
Robert, Thad, do you know who Hasbulla is?
It's a friend of Shopee's who's an MMA fighter.
No, not an MMA fighter. Just an internet celebrity.
Oh, okay.
I think if you saw a photo of him, you'd recognize him.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Manu and Shopee good. David sucks. I think that's a good bow on it for Sporting. And we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the current. We're going to talk about SKC2 and some other stuff also. And just to reiterate from the top of the pod, Cody was offside when he scored his goal at the media game. We'll be right back.
No one goes to Hank's for spreadsheets. They go for a darn good pizza. Lately, though, the shop's been quiet, so Hank decides to bring back the $1 slice. He asks Copilot in Microsoft Excel to look at his sales and costs and help him see if he can afford it. Copilot shows Hank where the money's going and which little extras make the dollar slice work. Now Hank has a line out the door. Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets. Learn more at m365copilot.com/work.
One crunchy bite of a Hershey's cookies and cream bar, and I'm taken right back to college move-in day. I was a little overwhelmed by the newness of it all. Boxes were everywhere, I needed a break from unpacking. But just as I was able to take a breath and open my Hershey's cookies and cream bar, my new roommate Rachel walked in. I offered her a piece, but she said no. Then after a beat, she said, "Actually, those are my favorite ones." We laughed. The ice was broken, and we've been friends ever since.
Hershey's. It's your happy place.
Looking to see what's happening around your home? Ring's battery doorbell helps you track packages and see who's at your door in real time. The Outdoor Cam Plus protects your yard at night with a wide field of view and clearer Retinal 2K video. Or upgrade to 4K cameras and doorbells with Retinal Vision for ultra-clear zoom and detail. Your door, your yard, your home. With Ring, it's protected. Shop cameras, doorbells, and more at ring.com now.
And we're back. All right, so as much as the last segment was me eating a bunch of shit, Thad, Carrie, you both were very unhappy with Chris Armas for many, many days of his tenure as coach. And the current are, you correct me, like winning a lot right now. Is that right?
I think the correct term is being back.
Are the current back?
Are the current back?
Are the current
It's
back?
a 3-game win streak against bad teams.
Okay, well,
Hold on, but there's a
Manu's
lot of
on a
goals.
1-goal streak. Like, and I had to eat a bunch of crap for that. So, okay, I want you two to acknowledge Chris Armas.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris Armas. I'm not sorry. I am
I'm
still,
not either.
I'm still questionable.
He backed into doing the right thing. He was forced into doing the right thing.
Because of
that
injury.
doesn't make him a good coach.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right. 3 straight wins, 2 clean sheets. Other than Temwa coming back,
I was
what
going to
has
say,
changed?
should we say thank you, Temwa?
Oh, I mean, Jesus, she's so awesome.
5
Temwa's the
goals,
best.
2 games, and like in 4th place for Golden Boot.
With
For-
how many fewer games than everybody else?
Yeah, like probably 5.
Temwa's so cool. Robert, did you get to watch the current this weekend?
I have one current moment that I'm just going to take at this moment right now, everyone. I'm sorry about the cussing, but holy shit, what a ball by Michelle Cooper. Oh my God. That's the whole thing I saw of the current this whole weekend, and that was amazing.
The
No,
pass
it's
to
cool.
Temwa.
Yes. Whoa. Very nice.
Well, I have my holy shit moment being Haley Hopkins uh bodying whatever Houston player it was to continue the play and the momentum that led to the third goal.
Thad, what'd you see out of the current this weekend? Other than Temwa being incredible.
What is your oh shit moment?
Well, Coop. If we're gonna say Temwa is amazing, we have to always say Cooper is pretty damn amazing as well. Not quite as amazing, but she did force the own goal. She did make the pass to Temwa after having to recover the ball in the box and fight off defenders, and then make that crossover there to her and all that. But also, Croy Bethune is very, very talented, but just doesn't seem to get the finish that she probably should get.
No, not at all. She is a magician in the goals that she scores. They're incredible shots. Ones that you're like, I don't know how she got that in. But then she has a one-on-one with a keeper and can't make it.
And she'll have another one-on-one with the keeper, and another one-on-one with the keeper, and another one-on-one with the keeper, and not make it.
One of them will go in eventually.
Hey, Calvin Harris had the same thing. He had a 1-1. He should have
Jerso even.
scored. You know, it
Jerso
happens.
scored goals. Yeah, Dom scored goals.
Yeah, but
it's fine. It's fine.
nobody looks at Calvin Harris as being the Croy Bethune of the league. You know what I mean? There's
So,
a little
Carrie,
bit
I do need a little more.
Yet.
Carrie, I need a little more information on this Hopkins moment. Exactly describe what she did. We were talking wrestling earlier. You know, what level was this bodying off?
Okay, well, I think first off, let's set the scene. Hopkins comes off the bench for Ali Sentner, which we've discussed in Keeping Current. We will keep discussing in Keeping Current whether or not Ali Sentner should be benched for Haley Hopkins. But Lowe has basically she's in the defensive half. She just kind of sticks her foot up and to get the ball to go up and back behind her. So that amazing skills by Lowe right there. But it seemed to be more of a 50-50 ball that Hopkins got to. Just pushes, I don't know who it was. I wish I could tell you. And
Now, pushes or body checks? I mean, give me some
body
detail
checks.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
body checks, 100%. And
like
you're
a
like,
hockey check.
yes. And
There you go.
you're
Nice.
thinking, oh crap, like what a good play by Lowe. It's gonna suck if this is gonna get or that it's gonna be a foul and that great skill is just gonna go to waste. It wasn't somehow. And then she gets the pass off to Cooper and Cooper to Temwa and boom. 3-0. But it
Now, guys,
is the amount of physicality that we have not seen from Ali Sentner. And I think if Ali Sentner was in that position, probably wouldn't even get to the ball.
Yeah, Ali is not a physical player like that. No. She's also about half the size of Haley, but
so I said at the beginning of the year that this team was obviously going to be worse than last year, both by coaching, who's on the team, etc. But are we feeling any better about the direction of the Current after the last couple of games?
It feels good not to have a 2-0 win and instead have a 3-0 win.
Carrie, you're back being bored during one of the halves? Are we back to that?
I am
little
not. No, this is okay. This is good.
bit? All right.
yeah, a lot of fans are obviously very happy. Again, 3 games, 3 wins. The last 3 games have been wins.
Hold on, pause. This is where Thad, other sides, winning 3 in a row with 2 clean sheets. This is where he tells us why it's bad. Okay,
That's
Thad,
what
go.
he do.
Sorry, Thad, go ahead. My
I'm
fault.
just trying to bring realism to every single debate, man. It is still the weaker teams in the league that they beat. They should not have lost to Chicago on the away game that early in the season, but they did. They beat Chicago here. Wow, that's not that tough. Everybody else beat Chicago at home as well. So if you're even a middle of the pack team, you beat Chicago. So we need to see how they play against teams that are actually more talented and better organized than the couple that they beat. So
So this is how this works, guys. See, I made a similar point about Sporting Kansas City, and Thad contraried me there. So do I get to contrary
Yes.
him here?
Go
I
for
don't
it.
know.
Do it.
But
Do
anyway,
it.
I just want to throw out the reminder that Austin did lose to Louisville in the U.S. Open Cup, similar to Sporting losing
Yeah.
in the Open Cup as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that'll be a bummer.
for Sporting being, but they also, these two teams come from different places, right?
Yeah.
The Current come from Shield winner, still a ton of talent. They don't, and the only talent that the only places that they have weaknesses is self-induced. So it's not like they couldn't have had one of the best defensive midfielders in the world or in the league or whatever, but they created a situation where she wanted to leave. There's all these factors to why these situations are. Sporting was bad 2 years, and they wiped out the bad roster and started from lower than the bad roster. So any positives for Sporting is a positive, is a good, right?
There
I
you
mean,
go. There you
honestly,
go.
if they'd have beat a USL team, we're like, okay, phew, right? They didn't.
Well, okay. So Thad, I have a question because you say that
12.
they have to beat teams better than them, right?
Well, eventually, yeah.
Okay. They beat Utah. First game of the season. Is Utah better than them or worse than them?
Worse than them.
Worse, but they're currently second on the table.
Right. Okay. Gotham. Did they beat Gotham?
Yes.
Is Gotham better than them or worse than them?
Probably about the same, maybe slightly less.
Yeah.
Where are they in the table?
Mid-table. They're
Doesn't
in
matter where they're at
they're
the
in
table. It
fifth.
matters whether they're good.
Above the Current, right? So, I mean, the Current lost to Washington, Portland, the Reign, and Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So of those, Reign, not so good. Chicago, not so good. Who do you think that they need to be like pummeling? Because it seems like, I mean, they've got 2 wins above teams ahead of them in the table.
Teams that will
makes
fall
you
back.
What makes you a believer?
I'm a believer because it's been 3-0 games. I do tend to side with that. I'm like, okay, yeah, but these are easy teams to beat. I think, and usually it hasn't been like this in a few seasons where anyone can beat anyone on a given day. You can complete the entire circle of NWSL teams of who's beaten who, and it just makes it a complete 360. So I think that there's confidence on my end that makes me a believer because it's 3-0. Granted, and I also have another question for Thad once he answers this one. So we just played Houston, who has not won a game in 5. Our next game is against Angel City, who started off really strong, hasn't won
They
a game
did.
in 5. Who do you think we can beat? And you're like, okay, this one actually counts. But answer the believer question first.
Wait, repeat the question.
What makes you a believer or an anti-believer? And then who?
Well, let's go with that. A believer in what? Believer that they are a great team, a good team, a mediocre team, that Armas is a good coach. What am I supposed to be believing in?
A cup contender.
They're going to have to be consistently good against, and right now I don't see Armas being. I have to see if he's making right decisions, good decisions, when he has the options to make bad ones. Because the reason that they're better defensively right now is Dabinia got hurt. He was having Croy Bethune as essentially a second defensive midfielder with Lowe. Croy is an attacking midfielder. She is not a deep-lying playmaker. That's not her strength at all. She is either an attacking midfielder or a winger. Could even be a false 9, but she's not a defensive midfielder. When you play her there, all you're doing is opening up people to run through your defense, and that's exactly what they did. When Dabinia got hurt, they moved Croy up, and then they put Rocky Rodriguez in there. Again, a reasonably decent fill-in as a 6 spot starter and sub. She got hurt. He was forced to put in Bailey Feist, who is exactly the person that should have been in there in the first place.
We are Bailey backers on Keeping Current.
Yes. But instead, earlier in the year, he took a second-year outside back and made her, at one point, a defensive midfielder. And she had not done that a whole lot in preseason. So there's just a lot of bad decisions made on who should play where until he was forced to essentially make the right decisions.
But he is also making a right decision that he, granted, wasn't forced to do when he brought in Lainey Rouse for Ellie Bravo Young.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
So with, like I said, with Houston not winning in the last 5, about to play Angel City, who hasn't won in the last 5, what team will you be like, yeah, I'll accept the current win this one, then they are pretty good?
Boz Nation FC.
I don't know. I'll probably have to look at more of look farther down the road. And I don't think it's going to be like one game. I don't think it's like, they beat this team.
Okay,
It's going to be a consistently good team.
Well, I was going to say, if we're constantly like 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, 1-0, 1-2.
Oh yeah, you keep it up for a long time. Yeah,
Then you will. Okay.
They'll be a decent team. I mean, maybe a really good team. Again, I want to see if he doesn't revert back to bad decisions, though.
Well, okay. So the currently are in 6th with a game in hand on all of the teams above them in the table. We are on 15 points. Washington and Gotham are on 18. Now, they would also have us on goal differential, even if Sporting wins the game in hand, unless they win. I'm bad at math. 9-0, I think. But would be firmly in the middle of the playoff table, right? They'd be in that 4, 5, 6 mix. And would be 2 points back of Utah, 2 points back of Portland, 3 points back of the Wave. Okay. So like they're in it, right? We'd all agree, yes? That
at the moment, yeah.
Staring at me like I'm some sort of. Here's my question though, right? Like last year, historically great season. We were the 1 seed, and we got bounced by an 8 seed.
With your 2 best players injured.
So they lost. Doesn't the team just need to be in the mix? And then last year's playoffs were what?
I mean, yes,
8 seed made the championship game.
The last 2, or the only times that Gotham has won, which is twice, they were the 8th seed going in.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this team dangerous enough that as long as Temwa is healthy, Cooper's healthy, that it kind of doesn't matter where we are as long as we're in the playoffs, that we could do damage?
Okay, but that's a different question than say, do I believe they're back to where they were last year kind of question.
Nobody
that's a different
asked you
question.
that. Hold on. No, not one person. Not a
the
single
insinuation
person
was,
speaking to
are
you
you
right
a believer that they're back? I am not saying that.
My brother in Christ, not one person thinks that this team was going to be as good as they were last year. It's just a matter of, are they good or do they suck? Not one person is asking you if they are as good as they were last year.
The answer is neither of those yet.
And you will be a lot happier in life if you're not expecting them to be as good as last year.
Because they're not going to be.
No, last year was historic.
I just said,
Robert,
yeah, they're not going to
will
be.
you talk to your friend? Will you explain this to him, please?
Hey,
and
I'm just
listen to
sitting
the
back
Keeping
here
Current. We'll have
enjoying
more
it.
logical discussion there.
And maybe more discussion about dessert.
Okay,
Yes.
I have 2 more things before we end with the
David,
current.
what's your favorite dessert?
Key lime pie, probably.
Did
Okay.
we get that question to Wiki?
No, he doesn't seem like a guy who's going to take fun questions like that without
The Swiss
looking
like
at me
their
like,
chocolate, though. The Swiss love their chocolate. It's probably like a Toblerone.
You think he's basic like that?
I mean, it's the only thing
It's the only
that
Swiss
isn't-
thing you
that's
know?
overtly branded as Swiss.
I thought that was
okay.
Scandinavian.
Yeah, same thing, right? So real quick, I looked this up because I was curious about the Golden Boot. So Barbara Band is currently leading the Golden Boot, 9 goals, 10 games. Ashley Sanchez from North Carolina has 6 goals in 9 games. And then Temwa, 5 goals, 5 games. Thad, why is Temwa so much better than everybody else? And Barbara Band is going to steal an MVP when she shouldn't get one. Explain.
Temwa is so good. She's fast. She's direct. She can finish a lot of those type of runs and goals. She's better than people give her credit for making different runs. and stuff like that. And she is way better defensively than Barbara Banda.
Temwa's got 5 goals on 9 shots. Banda's got 9 goals on 24 shots.
You know,
I have to say,
you could
on
argue.
Temwa's behalf, I just want to throw in she's more courageous as well. She'll throw her body into something or go into
That's
something
true.
that she might get hurt.
Banda does throw her body into some stuff too, I will say.
Yeah.
Which is actually, Banda got hurt by being challenged by Temwa last year. So
Oh, sorry.
it was a great match.
I said 24 shots. It's Banda's taken 43 shots. It's 24 on target. Wow.
Yeah. Temwa is more clinical now. When she first came into the league, she was not as clinical. She
It
needed
took a
to
minute.
it took a while for her to go from taking 10 shots to get a goal to now about 2 or 3 shots to get a goal or whatever it is. So
Tim was pretty cool. Carrie, what were you popping in on?
I was going to say, people in this league may argue that Temwa actually stole MVP from Banda in 24 because Orlando Pride they were okay without Banda.
Right.
And then once Banda came, put them over the top.
So I'm going to stand on this, and I'm going to Orlando for work in a couple weeks, and I'll tell this to their face. 1, they live in a giant Applebee's. Orlando's a terrible town. And 2, they're delusional because by any metric, Temwa is a better player than Barbara Banda. Barbara Banda is a very good player. But Tim was way better. Tim was way cooler. Last thing before we move on, and obviously listen to Keeping Current with Carrie and Thad and Sperry on. Okay, well, I don't know.
He doesn't listen.
No, I do listen, but who knows if Sperry's going to be available or not at a given time. Maybe he's going to big time me like Cody did with us tonight. But we wore the alternate kit. We wore the third kit. Carrie, how did you feel about the black with the lightning bolts?
Oh, the storm
bolts?
kit. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking
Storms.
about Sporting for whatever reason, which we did get a win in the 18th and Vine kit, which there was some statistic the last 2 years that was like when we wore our away jersey for Sporting, we only won like 2 games in 2 seasons.
Carrie,
these
we
last
are
couple
talking about the women's
seasons, you could make that stat for a lot of things.
Yeah.
No, the storm kit was, I will say, an interesting choice that it took them this long to wear it at home. I thought they looked great. It was also very hot, and I don't know why they chose to have a black kit on the hottest day of the year so far. Hottest game.
It wasn't that bad out though.
In the sun, it was. Once that shade came out, it was fine. But as someone that was sitting in the sun with shorts, it was not great.
Well, and Carrie, you're very fair skinned. Did you put on, sunscreen and everything?
No, but I did hear that
Oh, wow.
Teal Man might have gotten sunburnt on his head.
Okay. Thad, how'd you feel about the storm kit?
I'm just trying to figure out what a sunburnt teal head looks like. Like, what color is that? Is it just kind of muddy? Because like they're cross
I don't know.
on the color wheel a little bit too far. Like,
I didn't see the
red-
photo. I just heard about it.
Red and blue make purple. So presumably teal and red make some other form of purple.
like a brown mauve purple kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't really care that much. It was just trying to be stupidly saying a comment. The storm kits were fine. I mean, they were good. I like the color combination better than actually the all teal, quite honestly.
It's also easy on the
complained.
eyes
Yeah.
compared to bright red and bright teal.
Yeah. I kind of complained they didn't use the teal for the first couple of years of saying teal's our color, Teal Town, blah, blah, blah. And then they didn't use it except as socks or something. But then now they have the all teal kit and it is just too much teal, especially when there's other, like, if somebody scores a goal and they turn the stadium teal and the boards go teal and everything else, it just kind of blah together. They don't stand out.
A Thad teal hater.
If they win
If it was teal.
NWSL Cup, if they win the cup, do you think we can dye the river teal? Do you think they can dump enough like product in it? Like Chicago
Is there
always
enough
changes
teal?
their river. Chicago always makes the river green, like for St. Patty's Day. Do you think?
Yeah,
we
but
could
that's just
turn-
mold, algae.
I think that the Missouri River might be a lot dirtier than the Chicago
Oh, yeah.
one.
Oh yeah.
It's going to take a lot more to make it a brighter color than green.
I don't know. Just go upriver and rinse off the teal man. Maybe it turns it on its own.
All right. Anything else before we wrap up on the current?
No.
There was yet another hair pulling this week in the NWSL. So
Oh, I missed it. Who?
I had it. Hold on. I was not prepared for this.
This is good radio. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Carrie's going to give us this fascinating stat. And we're on a break. And we're back. Sans Robert, he said, "See you guys," and then clicked the button to leave without a lot of prompting. So we will not be going to Robert for his hot takes on this segment. Okay, so in a big weekend, lots of fun stuff. I guess of the week, not just the weekend, but guys, we need to talk about our sponsor, Core Outdoor. They're amazing. But what is our core moment of the week? Brought to you by Core Outdoor. And Robert dropped out before we could get to this, so I'll make one up for him. But Carrie, what's your core moment of the week?
It was the Wednesday game and having a 2-0 win. 2-1 win, I lied. I was
We
thinking
don't keep sporting doesn't keep clean sheets.
No, you're right. I was thinking about halftime because I ran over to the Cauldron to film the halftime media game. And the atmosphere over there at halftime, I was riding on that high for until Saturday.
Thad, what's your core moment of the week?
Oh, probably also that game, just because it was, the first win at home this season. Got to see a bunch of confetti coming down with the lights behind it. I always love like that confetti dropping in the stadium lights behind it. Just kind of glows. It gives a little atmosphere. People do weird things in the confetti after the game.
Like confetti angels?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I've
snow
heard that people do
angels.
that. Do you?
Oh yeah, sure.
Carrie, have you ever seen anybody do that?
There was a lot of confetti on Wednesday. I may or may not have. So
Okay, not directly related, but have you noticed that they have those things that shoot steam into the air now when they score a goal?
No.
Well,
I feel like it's only happened in the last few games, and I haven't sat back there last few
it's
games.
it's on both ends, I think, but it's on the south end for sure. So like 2 games ago at home, it went off, but I didn't even know it went off. I thought I was going to be like really annoyed by it, by noise and stuff. And when after the goal was over and all that stuff, and like, all those things didn't go off. They're like, no, it did, man. It was like a foot behind you, just like going off. I never even heard it. So not really a core moment, but just a very weird thing.
Usually when I'm over there, I'm paying more attention to the smoke bombs to make sure I'm not getting hit because those stain.
Can't have that.
Yeah, I'm always a little worried about that with camera equipment. How about you, David?
So
Core moment?
as Robert, and he can hit me up and tell me if he's unhappy with this, but I would have to say Calvin Harris opening his account for Sporting in the midweek game. That was big. I think it seemed to give him some confidence going into the weekend because I thought he also played strong on the weekend. Mine.
It was Manu. Just kidding.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Manu scoring a nice goal. Not a Golazo. We're too liberal with Golazo. But Manu had a nice, well-taken goal.
A lightning strike, as Navy Katie said on the broadcast.
And later was the thunder. Sounds like a bad movie thing. Can I take back? I want another core moment.
No. Actually, yeah. Core's great. Give them extra moments.
Because I could always edit it in anyway. So I ended up doing the preview for the last 2 sporting games. Not that they were anything to like be proud of. I just did them because we needed to get something out there. And those were both wins. And I did not do the recap for either one of them. And they were both wins. So since I was not doing the recap for this last game, I was actually sitting on the couch watching sporting with my daughter, who was off work and decided to come hang out with us. Poor kid, no life. And it was just a really nice moment. And then she got to listen to the Manu song that Carrie sent us. And she also echoed the I like it part when what's her face said I like it, who we thought it was you, Carrie. And then the other fun moment was when, because she hasn't followed the team as close this year because of how bad they are, and she's been working a lot, hasn't been doing many games. But when they talked about Calhera coming off the field or doing something. She's like, don't they mean Calvin Harris? So I've decided that Calhera is Calvin Harris's Brazilian nickname or something.
Okay.
That was not a very core moment, but it was mine.
Okay. Well, good. Big thanks to Core.
Core in the Bell household.
Yeah. That's a canon moment, as the kids are saying.
Comes from the movies, man.
Okay. Well, thank you to Core for sponsoring this podcast and all of our shenanigans and nonsense. Thank you for Cody for not being here and allowing us to get our sponsors in as effectively as we would have if he was here. And shout out to Robert, who we miss dearly, but not so much Cody. But Carrie, when we left, you were desperately looking for this actual facts of the thing that you started to bring up.
No, it wasn't
Who
really.
got in trouble for the what?
Let me just say, it's not really a fact because I do not know how many games in a row or weeks in a row that there's been hair pulling. I think it's at least 2, might be 3. But it was Orlando's Pride's Angelina, and she got a red for that.
So, see, Orlando's just dirty players.
That's what happens at Applebee's.
Peak
Eating good in the
Applebee's.
neighborhood and pulling hair.
If it was a Waffle House, I'd believe it. But
no, Orlando's gross. It's so generic. There's like nothing of importance or meaning there other than Disney. Thad, the Current 2 opened up WPSL play. They finally have their own second team. What kits did they wear? Did they just have like the same kit as the ones?
Yeah, they have the same kit. I think they wore the red today.
You know,
I try to go to these every time I can, but I had a lot of stuff going on, so I did not actually go to the game today, and I missed a lot.
Yeah, they played Wichita.
Okay.
I showed my Wichita hoodie, despite.
I thought that was Whataburger.
No, this is a really cool W. Current one 12-0.
Oh my God! Does Wichita not play professionally?
No.
They played Wichita State?
No.
Who did they play?
They played
FC
Wichita FC. Yeah.
Wichita FC. FC Wichita?
Something like that. I think it's FC Wichita. I think you're right. Yeah.
Who are these young ladies? Like,
nothing? I tried to look it up, and like they don't really have like a good website. Like the website's like so outdated from like 10 years ago. And all I know is that it's semi-professional, I think.
Yeah. Which is technically the Current R2 also.
They just have more backing.
Yeah, the WPSL is a summer league for teams to play in, for people to play in. So like WPSL, NPSL, USL2 are all that same sort of thing. And the difference is Current 2 have players who have definitive aspirations of being pros and have trained together for a couple years because they've been around for a couple years now, and they've played in TST and World Sevens, and they played an exhibition schedule last year against some decent teams in WPSL and elsewhere, like also USL USL. What's the women's league? USL. Is it USL Super League? I'm trying to remember. It's the other first division in
the
America.
Grain Bridge, something like
that. It's the other women's first division in America, who is about half as good as the NWSL. Being nice.
So I understand that Mary Long is hurt, and I understand that when Mary Long is not hurt, she is likely going to be starting at some position as required by her mom and dad. But if Mary Long were to be playing in the WPSL, how many goals would she have scored against Wichita?
3?
4? Yeah. I was going to say 3 or 4.
Cool.
You have to remember that she does, like, whenever she goes on to international breaks with the youth national team, she does tend to rack up a few goals there.
Yeah, no. The thing is, Mary Long is a good player, like, for her age. Like,
people criticize her for unfair reasons. Like, I understand that you go, oh, it's her parents' teams, but she is good enough to be on an NWSL team. She scored a goal for Current in whatever competition that was, right?
Teal Rising.
She's a youth international, which means she's at least somewhat legit. So I know we kind of poke fun at it, and I don't have a press pass, so I'm not going to get yelled at by the Longs. But I know I'm mostly saying it tongue in cheek. But 12-0 is insane. Did they have a mercy rule?
Probably not.
Okay, well.
Last week they beat Minnesota Aurora FC 4-0, I think it was, which is a better team. But again, these teams, like the WPSL teams and stuff, they might have practiced together 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
And I mean, we have 3 WPSL teams in Kansas City right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the current 2, Sunflower State FC women and Union KC.
Okay, well, our rundown is next supposed to go to SKC2, but Sunflower State FC, how'd they play?
Well, the men played, and they play in USL 2.
Okay, let's make this real confusing for everybody. So there's Sunflower State FC men and women.
Yes.
And one plays in WSL, one plays in NPSL.
One plays in WPSL, the women's team.
Right.
And the men play in USL 2.
USL 2, okay, which is also semi-pro.
Yes.
But it's different than the NPSL.
It is. It's essentially the same level, but probably a higher quality across the board.
Okay. How'd they do?
4-1 loss.
Oh, okay.
To FC Ambush St. Louis or something, whatever their name is. Ambush FC. It's an extension of the indoor team of the St. Louis Ambush, who plays in St. Charles.
Did they have no pride for their home city? Is that why they lost?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a bummer they lost to St. Charles FC. Thad, how did the Swope Park Rangers do?
They also lost. It's 4-1 or 5-1 for them too.
My hope is that by an hour into this podcast, people have stopped listening after we talked about the first team and the current, and maybe they listened long enough to hear about 12-0, but it sounds like the sad news is all segment 3.
So let's, on the positive side, okay, SKC2 outplayed the team that beat them, like outshot them, outpossessed them, all that stuff. But they traded goals, and then there was an own goal. The one goal was scored by Hines, Kadeen Hines, who is a talented young player, I think, who we will probably see his name pop up in the future. They were missing some players for various reasons, etc. North Texas is where they were playing against. They played them here, and it was a 2-2 draw. A former Sporting goalie, Brooks Thompson, was in goal and stood on his freaking head. Apparent, from what I understand, I didn't watch the game live, so I've been trying to go back and watch some highlights. But there's so many games this weekend that I have not quite got through everything yet. And so SKC2 actually played well, but lost bigly.
Well, as we're wrapping up here, the next game for Sporting is May 23rd at home against the New York Red Bulls, which I know is not the correct way of saying it, but it's the way I'm choosing to say it because they suck.
It's Star Wars night. May the 23rd be with you.
I mean, I'm sure that Chad is going to be very excited for Star Wars night because he is big into the Star Wars, and he will let you know. The current play midweek against Angel City, which if they win, Thad will not be impressed, and if they lose, he will be very grumpy about, before playing on Sunday the 24th against the Thorns in a match where if they win, he won't care, and if they lose, he'll be very grumpy.
I'm not grumpy about them losing. I shouldn't say that, should I?
He's disappointed.
Yeah, he's not mad. He's just disappointed.
It's just living up to expectations.
Okay.
I do expect them to be pretty decent. It's just, again, the expectation is that they should be better with the team they have.
The Thorns will be tough.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think if Thad's going to can buy into a game or buy into this team sooner rather than later, it's going to be against the Thorns with a win.
Well, all right.
So I guess we'll see.
Hopefully next weekend we have another real fun pod, another victory pod. If they win, we're going to tell Cody he's not welcome to host because there seems to be a theme here. Carrie, if you can pull up the Manu Garcia song, we'll play out on him. But Thad, while she does that, can you have this fake background behind you. So if you watch us on YouTube, you'll see this Fakakta bookshelf. And if you just listen, then this is really good radio. But Thad, could you just pretend to pick a favorite book off that bookshelf while Carrie pulls this song up? What book is this? Your background's messing it up.
Do
We
it
can't
like
see
an
it.
influencer. Do the hand behind.
Yeah. The feckin' book of Irish insults for gobdas as thick as manure and only half as useful. Okay.
Can you say it with the accent?
I don't do Irish. I can do other accents. I can't do Irish. All right. We're playing out on Manu. Manu singing to Manu.
Would you like an Irish insult?
No, I wouldn't. I want to play out on Manu. Carrie, hit us with it. Sporting.
La 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 la, Manu Garcia. Ya la 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 la, Manu Garcia. Ya la la la. I like this. Manu Garcia. Ya la 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 la, Manu Garcia.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
It's Saturday and the game is on. 10 minutes in, it's 3-2. I'm sipping back an empty can. I don't give a damn if it's 9 a.m. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. Just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood.